And welcome to hour number 2 of the Muay Thai Metal Show. And just like we told you earlier, we were going to have some special guests. It's the local artist spotlight, semi-local artist, because one of the guys is in California, and that would be Jeff. And one of the guys, Finn, he's in Virginia. And I'm talking about the band Sinful Way. I told you they would be here, and right now they're on the phone on the Muay Thai Metal Show to talk about their new albums and their EPs. Guys, welcome to the Muay Thai Metal Show.
Thanks for having us, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
So you got a lot going on. You got a full-length album, and that's entitled Resurrection, came out in 2021. You've got an album, an EP, called Evolution, came out in 2023, and then another one followed that up called Revolution, which is almost like a half of an album, but it's not an EP. So it's kind of like part 2 to the EP.
Right.
Yeah, we had a lot of songs, and we just wanted to break it down into 2 albums, so it's a little easier to digest rather than a full-length album, which sometimes, people's attention spans are short, so breaking up's a little easier.
Right, so you broke it up, and we were talking about this during the break there, the commercial break. I was chatting with the guys. It's tough getting this stuff off the shelf, but we did discuss the quality of the records. It's high quality hard rock. You want to start with Revolution?
Yeah, sure.
Talk to me a little bit about how that whole thing kicked off.
Well, it's really just a collection. When we got back together as this project, we really wanted to re-record a lot of the older songs that we had through the years and never really recorded properly. So we kind of just went through our collection and found the best songs and started the recording process. And it was really just to get our songs together and have them forever. But we realized they were pretty good, and it just kept steamrolling.
Take me back a minute and talk to me about how you and Finn got together, and who else is in this band?
We were a gigging band back in late 80s, early 90s in Baltimore, played regularly. When the grunge thing hit and the scene changed, we kind of went our separate ways, stayed friends, kept in contact over all the years. Matt Smith was the original drummer, founding member with Jeff and I. And Denny Grace was in the last iteration with us back in the early 90s. So 2019, Jeff started calling all of us and said, hey, dudes, almost 30 years since our original demo tape was out, we really ought to try to get these songs down, that we never got to record as a full-length album or we never got to put them down in a quality studio back in the day. And we all came together up in Baltimore. He flew in, I drove up. We got together. None of our original singers were available, and Jeff and Denny had worked with Mark Gable, the singer. So Mark volunteered to be our singer for this little get-together, and Mark's garage is set up like a club. He's got a PA and lights and all this stuff. And we got together over a weekend and jammed out these old songs that we had all relearned. And we said, this sounds pretty good. Why don't we, now with home technology, we could actually do something that we were unable to do back in the day. And so we spent about a year putting together the first album, Resurrection, came out in 21. Pretty pleased with it.
Let me say something real quick. That helped me backing up there to understand that this is a Baltimore-based band. That's why we said today you would get the local artist spotlight. And
yes.
And I feel now like I've come full circle, and I'm sure the fans at home will feel the same way. Denny Grace was a part of this thing, Mark Gable, and that brings the picture of the pieces of the puzzle for me.
Yeah.
And now I have a better understanding. That's an amazing feat, being based out of Baltimore. And I want to congratulate you on that, because once we get to this next thing that I wanted to discuss is the first song, Criminal Justice. Elaborate on that a little more, and let's see if we can get that thing out the door.
Okay. Jeff, you want to take it?
Yeah, Criminal Justice is a song that appeared in the band when we were originally together. It didn't make the first album. It's just one of those songs that fell by the wayside. And, we wrote it together with another guitar player that was in the band at the time, and it just became part of our set list. One of those songs. It was cool. We didn't think much about it after we broke up. And we were like, hey, man, remember that song? So we put it together. We talked to the guitar player. He was all for it. I mean, so we recorded it, sounded great, made the album. It's a great song, and it's a good throwback to the days when we were actually together.
Wow, that's a great insight on that. I think the fans at home might want to hear the local artist spotlight. This is Sinful Way. What do you say we run Criminal Justice for the fans at home?
Let's do it. Sounds great.
Here it is. You're on the Muay Thai Metal Show. It's Sinful Way. That was Criminal Justice from the band Sinful Way. We're sitting down with Jeff and Finn. Jeff's guitars and Finn is bass. And during the break, we were talking about the band's evolution. One of the things that's been on Finn's mind is momentum for the band. So take us back to the COVID thing.
Yeah, so we released Resurrection in February 21. And we got some decent press. A couple of websites gave it some really good reviews. We were in a couple of magazines in Europe. We had a couple songs on 97 that got picked up. That was like a dream come true for us. 97's our local station. We grew up listening to it. We wanted to hurry up and get back in the studio and have a follow-up out by mid-22. And then a couple people got COVID. People got busy with life. We've all got day jobs and stuff. And it started to drag, and we started to feel like we were losing momentum. So the follow-up album was originally supposed to be a full-length called Evolution Revolution. We got the first handful of songs down and decided, this is taking longer than we wanted. So that's when we decided to split it up into 2 pieces. So technically the title for Evolution is Evolution Revolution Part 1, Evolution. So we dropped that in early 23, and then we had most of Revolution done at the time, and we fleshed it out with a couple more songs, and then dropped that in October of 23. And now we're starting to work on number 4. So we're real excited about where we're going with number 4.
That's great, and that's some really good insight into today's rock world. You can't expect to see these bands all the time touring based on the way that the whole thing is structured now. You really got to get a real piece of, how would you call it, pot luck. You really got to have a 4-leaf clover up your butt to get get this band, get these bands with a lot of momentum. And my point is, this band is a very well-rounded band. You just heard Criminal Justice. Tell us what we're going to get when we go to Goddamn Evil. What album's that on?
That's the second track on Revolution. That's something that Jeff wrote with Mark, and then we updated it. We did a little bit of a facelift on it for this album. This one's more of a slow, grindy kind of in-your-face. The song's about AI and kind of a 9/11 feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that song goes way back. It was written years and years ago, and it was really just an instrumental that I came up with years ago. And I was working with Gable going way back in the early 2000s, and he sang on it. It became a song, and then when the band got back together, we decided to give it a good facelift and re-record it properly and make it what it is today.
Who did the artwork on this stuff?
There's a guy that I had met, and he actually lives in South Africa. And I send him the ideas and work with him directly, and he just put it together. Tell him what to do, and he does it, and he sends it back to us if we like it. Or if we don't like it, we just tell him to make some changes. And he was really good at doing that stuff. So just a really good dude.
Is one of the albums? It looks like Evolution. Is that like a Statue of Liberty on there?
Yeah. We have a running into our albums with this Phoenix, because the Phoenix, with the resurrection, the Phoenix was our kind of a symbol of resurrection of the band. It's kind of where it all comes from, and so we have this Phoenix that's appearing on most of our album covers, and it was really just a symbol of resurrection off of the first album and the rebirth of the band, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say that tends to be our symbol, because we were dead and gone, never expected to come back, and then we came back and we thought it sounded better than ever. Now, we're older guys now, but I think most of the guys had continued playing, except for me, over the years, and it was really neat to see what our skill set was back in the early 90s compared to what everybody's playing like now. We don't look anything like we used to, but skill-wise, everybody's pretty much more accomplished, so it was neat to take these old songs, and we do have some new tracks on the album as well, but and see what we could do with them with our a little more life experience and some, a little more time with our, so to speak.
Why don't we play Goddamn Evil and give the fans at home some more Sinful Way?
Appreciate it.
About goddamn time.
You're listening to Sinful Way. You're on the Muay Thai Metal Show. It's 97underground.com.
the devil insane. His search justified you. Now the world's not the same. Recognize analyzation, recording all that we're saying. Digitize recreations, news and techno salvations. Goddamn evil. It's so evil, such an evil so goddamn evil, such an evil
And that's Sinful Way on the Muay Thai Metal Show. You're listening to 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. We're sitting down with Jeff and Finn from the band Sinful Way, and they wanted to discuss the next song coming up and talk about the guest singer. Tell me what's going on with that.
Yeah, so when we started working on Revolution, we had knocked out Evolution. We had about half the songs done for Revolution. And, you know, Jeff and I, this is our main project. It's all that we're doing. But, like, you know, Denny's busy with Thrill Ride, and he wasn't able to play on Evolution or Revolution. And we're hoping to get him some, you know, get him the opportunity to work with us a little bit on the upcoming album. Mark was busy with Gable and some other projects he was involved in. And he was having a hard time finishing up some of the vocal tracks. And he told us, hey, dudes, look, if you could find somebody else to handle a couple tracks, I'm cool with it. And we were like, yeah, we're never going to find somebody, you know, that's going to fit. And Jeff started looking around and found this guy, Berzan Onan. Mm-hmm. He's actually based in Turkey. We're global now because the studio drummer we've used on the last two albums is in Portugal. And then we found this guy in Turkey, Berzan, who's just, we're like, let's see what he can do. And we sent him, I think Full Moon was the first song that you're getting ready to play. And our jaws just dropped. I mean, the guy's mind-blowing. So he ended up singing on 3 tracks on Revolution. And because Mark was just a little bit too busy to finish up, and Mark was cool with it, which I thought was one of the coolest things, that he was open enough to have us, you know, use a guest vocalist to finish up the album. And it just came out great. It's a nice dichotomy. You know, Mark's got tracks that sound like him. The other, it's similar enough that it sounds like the same band, but a slightly different flavor on some of the tracks.
Yeah.
So.
And he's from Portugal?
He's from Turkey. The singer's from Turkey. The drummer's from Portugal. The drummer's name is Alex.
Wow, that's very interesting. So that brings us back to this other point we were talking about during the song, and that's that the way that bands work nowadays, everyone does. It's we're so far advanced with the technology. Everyone can be in their own home or their own studio and get
Yeah.
all this done. You can send the tracks. Everything's sent by internet. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So talk about a little bit about how getting it done remotely has worked out for you.
Yeah, man. I started doing this years ago in the early 2000s, really with Mark Abel. You know, we got together, and because I was out here in California, he's still in Maryland, and we had a little side project for a couple of years, and we learned how to do it remotely. Having one person has the master and the other guy sends tracks over, and we learned to do it that way. And so we kind of honed that craft over the years, got better and better and better. And so when the Sinful Way project came back up, we were all kind of like, I wouldn't say masters at it, but we were pretty well advanced in our recording techniques doing a remote style. And so it was kind of natural to us to get it together and bring Tim in back, you know, as a bass player and get him involved in the remote recording. And then we were able to get guys all around the world if we needed to. And I usually have the master at my place, and the guys send me the tracks, and we put it together, and we all mix it together. We all send tracks back and forth and listen to it. So it's a process, man. It's a little bit harder sometimes when you're not in the same room, but ultimately at the end of the day, the job gets done.
If you're just sitting down, joining the Muay Thai Metal Show, we are talking to the band Sinful Way, but there's a huge Baltimore connection. And like you said, you mentioned Mark Abel, you mentioned Denny Grace. You have a very solid connection to the local area. And I think that's a nice additive to the band Sinful Way. And I think the fans at home can appreciate your connection.
Yeah,
We'll always consider ourselves, we're a Baltimore band.
Yeah, no matter where we are, we're based in Baltimore in our hearts, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've listened to quite a few songs now, the couple we've played, and I was previewing this stuff for the last week or so leading up to this interview session. And I have to congratulate you guys. You've done a really nice job and a nice package. And what do you see the band doing? You have a merch? You have any websites? Anything fans can grab onto?
Yes, we have a website, sinfulway.com, just like the name. And then there's a link on the website, and that's got songs, pictures, our bio, things like that. And then there's a link right on this first page that takes you to we have an Etsy site. And we've got T-shirts, hats, all kinds of merch.
Oh, cool. So can you get a hard copy of the disc, or can you get any vinyl?
Well,
No
we don't
vinyl
have
yet.
but that's something we're working towards. But you can definitely do.
Again, it's been a great time talking to you guys. I'll tell you what. Why don't we send you guys up the road here with Full Moon?
Yeah.
Certainly appreciate it.
We're going to rock it out. You guys have been sitting down with Sinful Way, local artist spotlight, and I'm going to have these guys back. We're going to talk some more about this stuff. The guys, you're welcome to come back to the Muay Thai Metal Show on 97 Underground anytime. You can talk about Denny. You can talk about Mark Abel. Mark's been on the show. Denny's been on the show, and we love the local artist spotlight. I can't thank you enough for joining us today. We're going to get out of here. Here's Full Moon from the album Revolution. That's it. A big round of applause. Keep it coming. Big round of applause. That was Sinful Way. Jeff from California and Finn from Virginia. Local artist spotlight. Tell me that music didn't kick your ass. Killer hard rock and heavy metal from local artists. And we just can't thank those guys enough for keeping the flag flying. Wow, what a great day it's been. 2 great interviews. We had Jeff Coleman back there. How fun was that? He's a solo guitarist. He's in the vein of the Steve Vais, the Tony McAlpines. You can't thank him enough. The Joe Satrianis of the world. Jeff Coleman's right up there with them. And thank you, Jeff, as well. How about the Breaking Ben back there in the New Metal Mondays? That was great. Also, Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi's Forbidden to remaster, except Dark Side of My Heart. We'll be right back to say goodbye.